Have you ever wondered if history truly repeats itself? Let's talk about a pattern. One that spans 2,000 years and connects four of the most powerful empires the world has ever seen. From ancient Rome to modern America, the cycle of rise and fall seems eerily consistent. Is the United States just the latest empire to face this inevitable turning point? Stick around, because we're about to decode this historical pattern. Let's travel back to ancient Rome. Imagine an empire at its absolute zenith. The Roman legions had conquered most of the known world, and wealth from every corner flowed into the capital. The city of Rome became a spectacle of unimaginable luxury. Colossal structures like the Colosseum were built, not just for sport, but as grand displays of power and opulence. The elite indulged in lavish banquets that lasted 4 days, feasting on exotic foods from distant provinces. But this extravagance came at a cost. The focus shifted from civic duty and military discipline to personal pleasure and entertainment. As historian Edward Gibbon noted, the decline began when the pursuit of luxury softened the very fabric of Roman society. While the wealthy partied, the empire's foundations were slowly cracking. The military, once the pride of Rome, became overstretched, and political corruption ran rampant. The very wealth that signaled Rome's power was also sowing the seeds of its destruction. They were living in a golden age, but it was the golden age of a sunset. Fast forward about 1,000 years to the 16th century. A new power is rising in Europe: Spain. Thanks to explorers like Columbus, Spain suddenly found itself in control of a vast, new world. A world overflowing with gold and silver. This massive influx of wealth from the Americas turned Spain into the richest and most powerful nation on earth almost overnight. The Spanish court became legendary for its splendor, and the Spanish Armada was the most feared naval force on the seas. But here's the twist. This wealth was a double-edged sword. It was what economists now call the resource course. Spain got rich so fast that it neglected to build a sustainable economy at home. Why develop local industries when you can just buy everything you need with American gold? This led to rampant inflation. Prices soared, making Spanish goods uncompetitive and crippling local businesses. The empire became a consumer, not a producer. So when the flow of treasure from the New World began to slow down, and costly wars drained its coffers, Spain's economy collapsed. It was an empire built on treasure, but it forgot to build a solid foundation underneath. It got rich too fast, and it fell just as quickly. Now, let's jump to the 19th century and the British Empire, the largest empire in human history. The saying "the sun never sets on the British Empire" wasn't an exaggeration. Britain controlled a quarter of the world's land, and a quarter of its population. Its power was built on industrial might, a dominant navy, and a global trading network. London was the financial capital of the world. For a time, it seemed invincible, but maintaining such a vast empire was incredibly expensive. The 2 world wars, in particular, bled Britain dry. It won the wars, but lost an empire in the process. Colonies began demanding independence, and Britain, weakened and in debt, no longer had the resources or the political will to hold on. The Suez Crisis in 1956 was a clear sign. Britain was no longer the world's top superpower. The sunset was a slow, gradual process, a managed decline rather than a sudden collapse. The empire didn't fall in a single battle. It faded as the costs of maintaining global dominance became too much to bear. It was a lesson in imperial overstretch. And that brings us to today. The United States. After World War II, America emerged as the undisputed leader of the free world. Its economic power, technological innovation, and military strength were unparalleled. For decades, it has been the global superpower, shaping international politics, culture, and finance. But are we now seeing familiar signs? Look at our national debt, soaring to unprecedented levels. Consider the political polarization that divides the nation. We see debates about economic inequality, the cost of maintaining a global military presence, and challenges to our industrial base from rising powers. Are these the same echoes of history we heard in Rome, Madrid, and London? Are we spending too much on luxuries and foreign commitments while neglecting issues at home? Is our incredible success making us complacent? This isn't about predicting doom and gloom. It's about recognizing the patterns. The United States is at a critical juncture. Some see these challenges as signs of an inevitable decline, the next chapter in a 2,000-year-old story. Others believe America has a unique capacity for reinvention and can adapt to these challenges, forging a new path. The question for us is, are we at our peak, or are we at a turning point? The stories of Rome, Spain, and Britain aren't just history lessons. They're cautionary tales. They show us how luxury, easy money, and the costs of maintaining global power can weaken even the mightiest empires from within. The future of America isn't written in stone. Recognizing these historical patterns gives us the power to learn from them. The choices we make today, how we handle our economy, our role in the world, and how we treat each other at home will determine whether this is the end of a chapter or the beginning of a new one. It's a conversation we all need to be a part of. What do you think? Is America following the same path? Or can it break the cycle? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this journey through history interesting, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We'll see you in the next one.